response to the issues identified by the Auditor General, cause of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wishes to report that A, the underfunding was due to the retained funds amounting to 115,681 by the Ministry of Local Government and Road Development for the insurance of the CGF monitoring vehicle. The over-expenditure was due to the balance of funds brought forward from 2022 funding. Action taken, the Ministry of Local Government and Road Development paid for the insurance for the CGF monitoring vehicles for the year 2023. Further, the funds brought forward from 2022 funding was spent. Remedial measures, the Council will ensure that projects are implemented within the financial year in question. We have attached evidence in our Appendix 8. The next query, Chair, is also given under a table there. Cause of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the unspent funds are due to...
This one is where I guided. It's where I guided that the funds have been spent and is closed. Actually, even number one, sorry for that. So number one, number two, you go to number 3. Appendix 3.
That's 2.2, Chair. The table 2.
So this will be page what? Page
16.
Page? Okay, you go to page 10. Page 10. Page 10 is coming from page... It's the same one, so it's page 11. Page 11, this one is resolved too. Page 11 is resolved. Let's go to page 12. 2.2. This one, that one is resolved as well. Point 3, that one is resolved as well, which is page 13. So we go to page 14. Page 14, secondary school and skills bursaries.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. We have a table that was provided by the Auditor General. Cause of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observations and wishes to report that the unspent funds were due to low turnout of applicants and the failure to report by some beneficiaries. The details are given in the table that has been provided. Action taken. The Council wishes to report that the part of the unspent funds amounting to 1,185,000 were varied to capital projects, leaving a balance of 1,296,792. 2 of the 4 projects are completed, while 2 are in progress. We have given the details in the table provided there, Chair. Remedial measures. The Council will continue sensitizing community on available sponsorship for secondary and skills development. Chair, the evidence is provided under Appendix 9.
Right, 2.5 is resolved as well. Let's go to Appendix 3. Appendix 3 is on page 16. Page 16.
Thank you, Chair. So Appendix 3,
Community projects.
community projects. Action taken, Chair. The Ministry of Local Government paid for the insurance and discs as provided.
Where are you?
Oh, page 16. Oh, okay. Chair.
Appendix 3, management response
Oh, thank you, Chair.
on page 17.
Okay. Oh, this was repeated.
On page 17.
Chair, I think my document was mixed up, but I think it's okay. No, I think it's okay.
Okay.
I've got it.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. So under, this is under community projects.
Yes.
So management response, cause of the query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the contractor failed to follow contractual obligations. Action taken. The contract was re-advertised and a new...
I think this one come to 4. Appendix 4. That one is a repetition.
Is this okay?
Come to Appendix 4, the same page, page 17.
Okay.
Can somebody help the Council Secretary on the report? Page 17, Appendix 4.
Yes.
Come to Appendix 4,
Thank you, Chair.
community projects.
Thank you, Chair. The cause of the query, Chair. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the outstanding
Yeah,
project
on page?
on page 18.
Page 18, yeah.
Thank you.
Please. Please continue.
Thank you, Chair. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the outstanding projects was due to projects not undertaken and completed the projects. Action taken. The Council fully completed the 2 projects out of the 6 outstanding projects. 2 are still under construction, and the funds for the ambulance were varied to other community projects. Further, a memorandum of understanding was signed between Luangwa Town Council and the Rural Electrification Authority, and a proposed area to be electrified was submitted to RIA for consideration. We have provided the details as shown in the table, Chair. Chair may guide if I need to go through them to read them out.
No, this one, skip it.
Thank you, Chair.
Go to page 19, remedial measures.
Remedial measures. The Council will ensure that the projects planned are implemented within the stipulated time frame. We have provided evidence under Appendix 10, Chair.
Thank you. Appendix 5. This one is done too. Appendix 5, you skip it as well.
Thank you, Chair.
Appendix 8, you skip it as well. We go to Appendix 9. 9 on page 22. Failure to recover loans.
Thank you, Chair. We were cited under this item. Management response. Cause of the query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the failure to recover loans was due to the failure by the loan beneficiaries to deposit the business proceeds into their bank accounts, and also the closure of the bank which they were using, that's Invest Trust Bank, which was the only bank in the district. Action taken. All the beneficiaries have reopened new bank accounts with Indo-Zambia Bank, and engagement meeting was held with loan beneficiaries on their way forward. Remedial measures. The Council will ensure that loans are paid back by the applicants, and for those that will fail to pay, legal action will be taken against them. We have attached Appendix 12, Chair.
Okay. I don't know where the title is for secondary school bursaries. This is someone like we are repeating on this one, so you end there.
Chair, that ends my report.
Thank you very much. You can switch off your mic on as we start on the points of clarifications and questions.
Chair, I'm very grateful. My question is on page 4, empowerment grants, failure to implement project. But my question, Chair, is coming from page 5 and 6. Chair, when you look at
Honorable Singombe, sorry, may I guide a bit? The guidance from the Auditor General's office is that Appendix 2, total unspent funds, is resolved.
It's Appendix.
Not this one?
No, it's E.
All right, yeah.
Yes,
Please.
and my question is arising from. Yeah, when you look at the table on page 5.
Let's go to page 5.
Yeah, our local authority has blacklisted a number of clubs because of what I would term as maybe failing to adhere or failing to actualize the programs they applied for. And my question to the local authority is that these are clubs, and they consist of a number of individuals who may wish to leave those clubs that have been blacklisted and go to form new ones. Is there any mechanism that you have put in place to continue tracking these individuals so that they are isolated wherever they are found? They can cease to work as a team, but they can still find their way into other groups and continue doing this kind of behavior where they get money and at the end of the day all the chickens died, no, all the goats died, everything. Is there any mechanism that you've put as a law to track them? Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, maybe before you respond, CS, in addition to what Honorable Singombe asked, we have seen a lot of chickens dying. Was it an outbreak of some disease, or it was just mere carelessness or wisdom? As you respond, please add that.
Chair, let me ask the CS to respond.
You are the CS. You want to ask the former.
Chair will
the former CS to help us.
The former CS to help, Chair.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chair, for this opportunity. I would want to start with the first question.
Yes.
The mechanism that the local authority has put in place to ensure that those who are squandering or are actually traced without any difficulty. Yes, Chair, we have put in some mechanisms. The first one is that we use the NRCs. So as they are, all the members of those clubs, they normally submit their NRCs. And those are the ones that we are using to trace those who want to apply for new or want to join new clubs. So we are taking note of those, and we have this experience because even for these other years that we have been disbursing these funds, we are able to trace them, and those were sorted out, and we are told not to join any club. Even warning those clubs that are accommodating those who have misused the funds. We are also warning them during the sensitization. We are talking about the same, and we are able to even publicize those names so that whoever wants to join another club is easily traced and known, so that they don't again pollute the new clubs that are being formed. Then the second one, in terms of an outbreak, yes, Chair, we formed a committee, technical committee, which comprises the VET, the officers from the council and other stakeholders to conduct the monitoring. And during the monitoring, as we have indicated in the table, this is exactly what happened. So during the process, they discovered that these clubs, they procured the chickens, but eventually they died. We did another verification monitoring, which actually confirmed that, yes, indeed, the chickens were procured, but again, later on, because of the outbreak of disease, I don't know, I think the doctors can pronounce it nicely. Because of that outbreak, the chickens actually perished.
So why do you blacklist when those are not, when the clubs are not the causes of that unfortunate, occurrence? Why do you blacklist them?
The reason, Chair, is that they didn't inform the council. Because if they had informed the council in good time, would have sent a vet to go and treat those chickens. But they didn't, they kept quiet until we did the second monitoring. That's when now they were giving us those stories.
So negligence. Honorable Swans.
Chair, I want to ask a question, a follow-up question, and maybe at the end make a suggestion. Chair, like you have rightly indicated, I don't think it's prudent to blacklist people in that manner who are not trained. Remember, these are just people who are supposed to earn a living from the CDF, and to completely blacklist them is unfair. Maybe the question that I would want to ask is, does it mean, is there a period of time that you've given them to reflect, or it means they've completely been isolated? Secondly, Chair, you will discover that a lot of these youth groups and clubs in rural areas, most of their programs are agriculture related. Is it a bad idea to ask them to find even an agriculture officer within the locality where they come from, so that such a person, Chair, is attached to them to assist? Because when you look at these activities, Chair, the local authorities are not there to account. And for me, I would suggest that if a group comes with an application, they want to rear goats, they must show evidence that they have a qualified person who will be monitoring them. It is one idea that I think earn an extra amount, because look, you will not manage, or she will not manage to be moving from one class to another. We have these officers, Chair, constituencies and ward levels. Is it not good, or is it not fair that we attach? Because you see now, you have blacklisted people. These people, they just know that there is rearing of chickens, but they have no knowledge as to what nitty-gritties are supposed to be put in place for them to have those chickens mature, sell, and add to their livelihood. But I think it is advisable to ask every agriculture related to them, before we give you this money, officer, who be monitoring. My suggestion, Chair, I want to something that can be pursued rather than using huge sums of money in this manner.
Thank you very much. Council Secretary. or former Council Secretary?
Yes, thank you so much, Chair. Chair, before we disburse the funds, we conduct the training, financial literacy to these clubs. And the team that conducts this literacy training, financial literacy training, comprises the vet and other key personnel within the district, according to the clubs that are going to benefit. So they normally tell them and educate them how they should keep, if it means to keep chicken, rearing cattle, goats, all those. We have experts who normally inculcate knowledge in the fisheries. And even when they have challenges, we have within the district these experts who provide technical advice and technical guidance to these clubs. The idea or the suggestion could be, can help also, but I'm looking at the number of beneficiaries that we normally, who normally benefit from this empowerment or grant. It's quite a big number. So obviously maybe they might find a challenge along the way. But the suggestion is good if the beneficiaries are quite small. Can still allocate or attach this technical personnel to monitor and see what they're doing. But all the same, we normally conduct literacy training to these beneficiaries so that they do the work or they carry out their activities in a manner that will benefit them even in the future.
Okay, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'm very happy with the CS's presentation. But do you have evidence to the lessons that you teach these members in these various cooperatives? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary.
Yes, Chair.
Before he comes in, have they completely been forgotten? Or is
Those two questions, Council Secretary, former Council Secretary.
Chair, it will be very fair to get back to the people who squandered the money, leaving people who haven't yet benefited from this empowerment. So until we exhaust those who have not benefited, then we can get back to them and see how best we can help them. But for now, we have a number of people who need this same empowerment first to benefit. Then we would see in future whether they have reformed to get another location. But for now, we don't have those intentions, Chair.
Another question from Honorable Mwene. Do you have evidence that you have been engaging or have been?
Thank you so much, Chair. Yes, indeed, we have. And we can go maybe to Appendix 5.
Appendix 5.
The monitoring report is there. So on Appendix 5, we have monitoring report, letters to beneficiaries, bookkeeping reports or records. Then we have also status image from beneficiaries. We have also letters from the beneficiaries. Then we have also 2024 and 2025 grant beneficiaries list.
Okay.
So we are doing this, Chair.
Thank you. Another question? Honorable members, I've seen the report, yes.
Chair, I'm on page. Not very clear, but on D, management of bursaries, secondary school boarding and school development, payment for unregistered programs. My mic was off, Chair.
Which page is that?
Page 4. Chair, when you look at the cause of query, here they are talking of unregistered programs. Page 4. Now, on the cause of query, Chair, management is saying that they based on the documents provided by this institution. So, for me, I can speculate that probably this PASCO institution Chair gave wrong to this to pay. Now, may I know whether there is any legal action that the local authority has taken against this particular institution? When you look at was paid, Chair, it's colossal. What has happened? Have you taken them to court? Have they paid back the money?
Thank you. Council Secretary, former Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. First and foremost, I want to agree with the submission, the comment from the Honorable Member. There was some deception because when you look at the documents which they submitted, actually this institution is registered under TVET. Now the courses which they are offering are the ones which are not registered. So we had to engage the same institutions, and they insisted that they normally offer those courses, because even when you look at the certificate itself, it is written Pasco operator and other words there. So that is another one. Then the second one is that the brochure which they produced, again they show that indeed they are offering courses in that field. We had to send again, because that time we received some guidance that we shouldn't, officers should not go to conduct due diligence. Later, and then which later on was rescinded with a new circular now that we need to conduct due diligence. So instead of all of us officers to go, we now I allowed internal auditor to go and conduct due diligence, so that as we are paying, we are very sure that we are paying for the students that are in school. And there's a report to that effect, Chair, which came from the internal auditor when he went around to check for these students where they were in school or not.
Thank you. Honourable members. Pavuma?
Follow up.
Yes, a follow-up.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, on the remedial measures on the same question, they've highlighted the circular which is allowing them to go and do a due diligence. Do you have a circular which stopped you from conducting a due diligence? Do you have it?
Sorry, Chair. I really wanted that circular to be attached because of time, but the ministry is here represented. I think it's something which I was also disputed, and also said I think this will not help us, because it was circulated to all the councils countrywide, where the issue to instruction to say you can liaise with the council which is near where we have sent the students.
Yes, before you proceed, we don't work for the council. So do you have that? You are the one who has made the reference to that circular. So do you have it? You know that it's an evidence-based committee, and we don't work at the council. So do you have it?
Sorry, Chair, for now I don't have, but we can still produce it at a later stage.
All right, Mr. Kazinga, do you have any point of clarification on that point?
Thank you, Chairperson. As alluded by the witness before you in their submission, yes, there was that guidance, which was any aspirations for cost management of travels by officers that we could leverage using the area council in which the training center was. But I think the feedback proved that it was a bit overwhelming on certain districts. You would imagine there are so many councils that have their students in Ndola at Notek. So how many councils would request them to do that? So I think that's how a restatement was done. We can affirm, yes, that decision was made, and the affirmation of reverse was done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another question, Dr. Mwanza, as we wind up.
Page 2.
Let's go to page 2.
Construction of a modern market and the ablution block. at
First item.
yes, in Kavula Ward. So this contract, Chair, was given to Jolen Michier for the construction of modern market and ablution block at Kavula Ward at a contract sum of 2,126,754 for a construction period of 4 months. Contract was terminated in May May 2024, and a new contractor brought on board, Wegos. The first contractor received the advance payment, and he was even made to pay back to the client 211,000, which is already recovered. Points of clarification is the new contractor on Appendix 1, we have some information pertaining to this contract. On Appendix 1, some minutes. There are no page numbers, but it's some minutes of a meeting prepared by my engineering stipulating the cost of the new contractor to execute these works. The cost, Chair, is coming to 2,099,700 kwacha. The first contractor total contract price for 1,754. After I did a few works like substructure, then to evaluate and award another contractor, the total additional funds that the project manager is seeking is 2,100,000 kwacha. Within a time frame of and the contract was awarded in October 2023, and it was supposed to complete April 2024. Then the new contractor came on board on 14 October. What is the justification of a new contractor who is supposed to do just a completion, to complete the structure, whose contract for the first contractor was at the price of 2,100,000, and to complete the works, we are seeking additional funding of 2,100,000. You have cited a few reasons here to say the escalation of prices is majorly contributed to the long hours of load shedding, cost of transport and steel prices, which has increased from 20 kwacha to 29 kwacha. What were there additional works in terms of the scope that was given to the first contractor to justify the increment of 2 million kwacha? Remember, the 2 million kwacha was already in the bank, reserved for this first contractor. Then the second contractor, we are looking for additional 2 million, coming total to close to 4 million kwacha. The price doubled within a time frame of less than 1 year. Then looking at your presentation, you are talking the works calculation is like the value of works done by the first contractor is 320,011. But when I look at the certificate, payment certificate, the final settlement account, the works that are certified is 200, because there's even a payment voucher. There's 200 and you can look at your value of works done so far as to the BOQ is 225,161 kwacha. But when you did your calculations, you presented 320,011. How do you explain this?
Mr. Secretary?
Chair, thank you. I'll ask the Director of Engineering to elaborate.
Director Engineering?
Thank you, Honorable, for that question. Let me just get back to the page. The breakdown. Chair, can I just request that the Honorable Member repeats the question again, so that I just get it clearly? Yes, I'm there.
Your mic, Honorable.
There are no page numbers.
So you ask one question, allow them to respond?
Yes, then I go to the next one.
Yes.
So the first question, let's
What
go
was
to
the justification on the amounts?
Yes,
The
report.
completion
It is
and
on
the-
your report of the Director of Engineering to the Constituency Development Fund Committee held on 8th and 15th July 2024, Council Chamber. So you presented the technical report that you're seeking CDFC, that they look for additional funding, and you are looking for, the additional funding you're looking for is 2,099,742 kwacha. The question here is, what is the justification for the contract price?
The first question. That's
Yes.
the first question.
That's the first
Okay.
Please
question.
respond.
Thank you,
Director
Chair.
Engineering.
Yes, I've gotten the question. So, Chair, if you look at the project itself, this is a 80% steel structure project. So when we are costing for these projects, this is a 2023 project, by the way. So it means it was costed in 2022, because that's when we submit our appraisals to the ministry. So when you look at the price escalation from that period, if you follow the appendix, I have justified how the dollar rate really affected this, in the sense that whatever machinery that we'll use for the steelworks needed to be hired. Also, if you look at the pictures attached, you will see that those, the UB beams up there, those were being erected by cranes, and then the rates for hiring all this machinery just to have this done.
So before you even say a lot of things over this short question, the Honorable Member is asking you a question, that this contract sum was 2,126,000. That was from the scratch. Then we have the completion. This person is also asking for 2 million plus. Now, if you tell us about the cranes, they are going to be used even in the same amount. Were they going to be used in the same amount in the first contract, those machines?
I can respond, Chair.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, Chair. I think I've gotten the question now loud and clear.
Yes.
Yeah. So the escalation in price, the jump actually, is mainly contributed to the dollar. Because when we got the first quote for the steel, that's from Zambezi Steel. I still have those quotations, Chair. The first quotation that we got was around 1.2. But when we re-evaluated this, before engaging the new contractor, Chair, the price had gone up to almost double that amount. And that is where the attribution, Chair.
Let me just...
How many months in between?
Let me just... and people to follow clear. Let's go to page 2.
Come to page 2.
Page 2, this contract of construction of a modern market and ablution block in Kavola Ward was awarded to Jolen Michi at a contract sum of 2,126,754. The cost of 2 million included all what the engineer is talking about
Yes.
here.
Mhm.
So as the contractor was executing the works, they had those issues of maybe abandoning site and so on. The correspondence is clear. That is what led the council to terminate the contract. At the time of terminating the contract, the contractor only received advance payment from that 2 million, received advance payment of 531,000 kwacha. And he had executed some works towards the contract of 200 which is the second question which I'm disputing here, which is in dispute. They executed some works, and so they did the final account. And the final account is very clear on Appendix 1, where from the first contract, they did all the calculations and checked that what they had in the bank reserved for this particular contract, the unspent money by the contractor plus all the years, they had 1,768,311. That was the money that was, as I can say, a saving after terminating the contract.
That is, you're still on page 2?
Yes. No, on page, appendix.
Appendix C?
Appendix 1.
Okay.
Appendix 1. So
Yes.
So now the department, the engineers had to engage a second contractor. Whilst in the bank they have 1,768,311. So engaging the second contractor to complete the works, they did now an evaluation, and they need 2,100,000 in addition to what they had reserved for this particular contract of 1.7 million. So this is the key issue, because the 2,126,000 for the first contractor, all what the engineer is explaining here was already embedded in that contract.
So,
in fact, it is not a responsibility of the project manager to talk about a crane. They will be buying this. No. The contractors costed. So how are you looking for 2 million in addition to what was already as a saving of that first contract?
So Doc, you're right. Engineer, the 2.126, the cranes and the other machineries were already embedded in there. So now the question is, are the cranes that you budgeted for in the first contract, are they affected by the dollar?
Chair, yes.
They're affected by, switch off your mic, Honorable Mwanza. They're affected by the dollar.
Yes, Chair.
How?
Chair, can I maybe just take you to something in this same appendix?
No, we are not restricting you, because we just want you to give us the information.
Okay.
So wherever you take us, as long as you are not taking us into a ditch, we will refuse. But if you are taking us in the right direction, please give us that information. Please go ahead, Director.
Okay, Chair. I'll take the members to Appendix 1, the response from the contractor, which is Jolen Michi, which is dated 19th Feb 2024. I'll take the members to the last point, where
19th, just slow down.
Sorry, Chair. 19th February 2024. Appendix 1.
19th February.
Yes, Chair.
Just slow down so that everyone gets the. Yes, 19th February.
I can proceed, Chair?
Please do.
Okay, I brought the members to this letter because...
Request for extension.
Yes, Chair. This is request for extension, but point number 4, I would just like to read that from the contractor.
What is 4? There's 1, 2.
Yes, Chair. That's what I would like to read.
I can't see that. Okay.
Yeah, it says effects of the high exchange rate on market prices for materials. From the time of contract signing to date, we have seen the rapid change in the exchange rate, which has drastically affected the market prices for most construction materials and specifically for the portal frames. So much that the advance payment received was insufficient to mobilize the preliminary materials as well as procure and fabricate the portal frames. Hence, we have had to outsource additional funding for the procurement of the portal frames, which are currently being fabricated in Lusaka as we look to complete the substructure and push in valuation claim for cash flow on the project and quick progression of works. With that said, we are hereby requesting your able office to grant us 3 months to successfully complete the project on 31st May. So, Chair, in response, I brought the committee to this line because after this, we had a site meeting. The minutes are also attached, where the contractor actually decided to let go of the project, indicating that the rapid increase in materials had caused him to fail to complete the project. And therefore, when you look at the portal frames being talked about, just the portal frames were taking us over $1 million, Chair. From the advance, we are already remaining with just there about $1 million, if you do the math.
Director, how many months? What was the period in between the delayment? How many months?
Yeah, maybe Chair, let me also help my director.
Yes.
Chair, as the members have rightly observed, I equally had the same observations, and I felt it was too much to increase to that much. So what I did now, that time was good that the quantity surveyor was recruited by the Organizations Commission. So I called him and the quantity surveyor into my office, and they got also the price index. That's how I was convinced as well. And we said we can proceed and report to the CDFC committee, because I was equally concerned as well when I looked at that amount. But they actually brought the index and also the quantity surveyor, who's an expert, because I was also doubting whether this...
You justified it as well?
Yes.
What was the period in between the first contractor and the one that was supposed to complete?
About 2 years, because when you look at the first contractor, didn't do much. It was just the slab. So most of the works were done by the second contractor.
Honorable Pavima.
Thank you, Chair. The former CS is telling us about the engagement with the engineer and the quantity surveyor, also bringing in the price reference index. Do we have that evidence now, so that we can scrutinize that evidence? Because, Chair, it's not possible, even if the dollar goes up, it will affect the prices by a small percentage, not 100%. That is not possible. So, can you demonstrate, using the price reference index, how you were convinced, so that we're also on one page with you?
Director Engineering, before Honorable Mwanza comes in, when did you terminate the first contract? And when did you engage the second one?
Okay, Chair, 31st May.
That's when you engaged.
That's when we terminated.
That's when you terminated. When did you engage the first one?
We engaged the first one in 2023, October. 2023, October.
October 2023.
Yes, Chair.
Then you terminated in 2024, May.
Yes, Chair.
But the CS is saying over 2 years.
The quantification, Chair, was done in 2022. The BOQs and everything.
No, we are looking at 2023. we are looking at 2023 CDF fund. And under 2023 CDF fund, in October you offered, actually you engaged a company. And by May, the following year, you were not satisfied and you decided to terminate. That is a period of how many months? Can that, even if the dollar was misbehaving, can it warrant, a double funding on a project? Anyway, we'll leave that one. We'll come back to it. Another question, honorable members. Yes, honorable.
So the engineer referred us to, the contractor was just trying to justify the reasons as to why he should be given extension of time. He gave 4 reasons. Delayed provision of ablution block drawings. The client delayed to give him the design for the ablution block. So the second one was he delayed the bending schedule for the pad columns. You never provided the bar bending schedule, and then a difference in construction or whatever. All these reasons is just to attract sympathy for you to extend his contract. Remember, he wrote a letter on 19th February. You paid the contractor in December, the advance payment, 531,000 kwacha. That still we are talking about. He could have procured that steel in December. And here he is saying that that advance payment was insufficient, so we had to look for some source for some funds. Right now, hence we have had to outsource additional funding to the procurement for the procurement of the portal frames, which are currently being fabricated in Lusaka. As we look to complete the substructure and push in a valuation claim. So he pushed in a valuation claim according to, if he followed this, he pushed in a valuation claim which you actually paid here as the value of works that have been done. So the reason of cost escalating to twice the original contract price is not still convincing. So using this reason by the contractor for
yes,
is not
thank
right.
you. Thank you very much, Dr. Mwanza. Yes, Honorable Vyoma.
Chair, your witness here is not trying to be truthful. This contract was terminated 31st May 2024. And the contractor in February, 19 February, was trying to extend the contract. And he has indicated on that bullet number 4, he's talking about that using the advance payment of 531,000 plus the other funds he sourced outside, he had to procure the steel, meaning it was not affected by the procurement of the steel, was not affected by the
dollar,
because he had to top up within that period.
And he got the materials.
And he got the materials which he sent to Lusaka for fabrication. So why is your witness trying to mislead this committee?
Thank you very much, Honorable Vyoma. Another question? I'll come back to that. Another question, Honorable members, as we wind up. All right. On the same, I want to make mention to you, Council Secretary, that we, as a committee, are not satisfied with the submission that is coming from you, and because we feel there is something that is not adding up here. If the contractor can submit that my materials are being fabricated using the money that you gave him and his own resources, so why should the price escalate up to that end? So with that said, we want to ask the Office of the Auditor General to go back to on this issue. Check when they engaged the price indexes when the second contractor was engaged, so that at the end of the day, you get all those things, and even those materials that were being fabricated in Lusaka, what kind of materials? So that at the end of the day, we should know. For instance, maybe it was half the materials that was required, or 3/4 of the materials that was required, or 1/4 of the material. So it couldn't be the same amount, or more than the first contract price. It should not be like that. So we request the Office of the Auditor General to go and do the due diligence on it, on this matter, because we feel if it was an addition of $1 million or something like that, we are going to argue with you. But like this, totally unacceptable before this committee to us as laymen, and from the submission that is coming from you, both from the council and the contractor. We want to appreciate your appearance, Council Secretary, before your committee, but we want to urge you to do more than what you have done. Your report is not well coordinated, and we urge you to work very hard and be able to coordinate, because what people are looking for is indeed a service delivery. And on the chickens that we are dying, our advice, our feeling is that you shouldn't throw away those people. Engage them or integrate them. Let others, those with knowledge, let them be those that have knowledge. You attach somebody, for instance, from the Ministry of Agriculture. If it's the agriculture project, attach somebody from there. If it's vet, attach somebody from there, and make sure that it's not the same group, 1 up to 10. At least you have 5, you have other people from the other, because there is some percentage of negligence in this whole thing as well. So you need people that are proactive, and people that are going to look after their business, and people that are going to make sure that what they are looking for is profit. Again, if you throw them away in the code, we are not helping them, because grants basically are for the people that are less privileged, and these people have to be able to spring from that small amount of money and get a living out of it. So we'll not throw them away, but we need to engage them and find a better way of trying to help them and educate them and make them better citizens, make them better, beneficiaries. That would be the advice from the committee. We thank you for this appearance, and we wish you well as you go back. At this juncture, let me withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
There you have it. Luangwa Town Council has made their submission before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and this is on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2020. To make a submission before the committee is Nyimba Town Council. Keep watching Parliament Television.